Hello, friends, and welcome to the very first episode of a new series that I am calling the Dubbies. That's silly, but that's what I'm going to call it. And what the Dubbies is going to be is kind of my favorites, tops, countdowns, whatever, of things that are time sensitive in some form or fashion in nature. So, for instance, this episode is going to be my favorite figures of quarter one. That would be January, February, March 2019. And I'm going to give you 5 categories of my favorite figures, which are my favorite import in the 1/12 size. So that would be things like Mafex, Figuarts, Amazing Yamaguchi, Reveltech Figma, figures like that. I'm going to give you my favorite Mezco figure. I'm going to give you my favorite Hot Toys figure. I'm going to give you my favorite mass media, mass market, whatever release, meaning things that are available in Walmarts and Targets and GameStops. They could be a store exclusive, but they're kind of that quote unquote $20 price point type of item. And then I'm going to give you my favorite non-Hot Toy 6 scale / premium or statue or other things. So like Iron Studios, Masterpiece Series Transformers, things that would fall into that category of other premium things that don't really fit in anything else. So those 5 awards, as well as my top 5 overall figures for the quarter. And so that's what today's episode is going to be. We could also do things like, when I mean timely, top 5 moments of this season of Game of Thrones, or top 5 moments from Avengers Endgame. But I'm probably going to keep it more into figure reviews or places I visited this year, restaurants, things like that that are timely. I'll have rules of some type every episode. So the rules for this are, like when I did my best figures of 2018, I can't have a figure from any line more than twice on the top 5 list. So I can't just have 5 Hot Toys. And then I have to fit the things in the category. So that's the way we go. It's actually going to be 7 figures that comprise these 5 awards in the top 5 list. So we'll start with the 2 that did not make the top 5, but were wonderful figures nonetheless. First, my favorite 1/12 import figure of the first quarter of 2019, and the way I'm defining it was my pre-order fulfilled in January, February, or March. Not necessarily the release date, because some things could have released at the very end of December. Certain things, people get them in different patterns. But it has to be a figure that came out somewhere very close to the quarter and that I actually received during the quarter. So, my favorite 1/12 import, the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Trunks figure. Now, I really enjoy this figure quite a bit. Surprisingly, it's my favorite SH Figuarts from the quarter. Now, that being said, there weren't a ton of Marvel or Star Wars releases in that quarter. Most of the Infinity War stuff came out last year, and the Endgame stuff isn't here yet. So this category will probably look different next quarter. But this Trunks figure is a great figure. He comes with a lot of accessories. I love the big sword. I love the arc with Trunks and Zamasu and Goku Black in the show. And so it just really was something I wanted. With Zamasu coming out from Figuarts, it's just going to make it even better. And the articulation's great, the sculpt is great, comes with a ton of accessories. It's a wonderful figure. That was my favorite 1/12 import figure of the year. Other things that were in the running, I really like the Amazing Yamaguchi Deathstroke figure. I like the Falcon SH Figuarts from Infinity War, but Trunks is the one that won. Now, the other one that doesn't make the top 5 list, my favorite Mezco figure. That may be a bit of a surprise, but my favorite Mezco figure of the quarter just recently came out, Blade. I do not have the Toy Fair Blade. I do not have the Toy Fair Gomez or the one that released. I would imagine that I got the Gomez. That one might be my favorite. I have the pre-order that shows up later in the fall. But I love this Blade figure. All the different sunglasses, all the different face sculpts, all the different weaponry that he comes with. It is just a really fun figure, and I'm very, very glad to have it. And I think you'll enjoy it. Now, other things that were in the running, the Stealth Suit Iron Man, you had the Homecoming suit, homemade suit Spider-Man, I think was released this year during the quarter. It's hard with Mezco because there was a lot in December. Like Black Panther was a recently released, the exclusive Popeye, but I didn't want to have both Popeyes. I had Popeye last year, so I didn't want to kind of cheat the system that way a little bit. But the Blade figure is great and it's a lot of fun. So those are the two that didn't make my top 5. Now let's get into my top 5 of Q1 2019. Coming in at number 5, it is my favorite mass retail release of the year. And I know it was a store exclusive, but it was in a retail store, mass retail store. And that is the Target exclusive Toon Turtles from NECA. Just the whole set. I'm considering that one big thing. If you had to pick my very favorite would be Raphael because he is my favorite turtle. But that whole set is wonderful. It elicits thoughts from my childhood. Again, you know, I used to be a big turtle collector. I had to sell it all off, pay for graduate school, all of that stuff. But these are wonderful. They really bring me back to being a kid. And I'm so glad that NECA released them and I was able to pick them up. They're a lot of fun. So they're also my number 5 of the quarter. Coming in at number 4 for the Q1 of 2019, the ThreeZero White Walker figure. 6-scale figure from Game of Thrones. This figure is absolutely incredible. One of the best sculpts I've ever seen on any figure ever. You can completely undress him if you'd like and put on a different pair of pants and sandals instead of his boots and the way he's equipped with his armor. And I've just really never seen something that had this level of detail at that price point. It's just a fantastic figure. And it's not like I'm just clamoring for a lot of White Walker figures in the 6 scale. But this figure was unbelievable and really made a push to go for the number 1. But it ended up being my 4th best figure. But it did not win my favorite premium, other 6 scale, that kind of weird category. That would be the number 3 item on my list, and that is Flame Toys Tarn. This figure is incredible. And I know that a lot of Autobot enthusiasts, Transformer bot enthusiasts, don't like these big flame toys because they don't transform. But the engineering, the articulation, and the attention to detail is just unbelievable. These are some of the very best things that I own. And I really, really like this Tarn. It takes wonderful pictures. I love the color scheme. I love the purple. It's so brilliant, so vibrant. And I just think it's a masterpiece. It's an absolute masterpiece. And it was not only my number 3 favorite figure of the quarter, but also my favorite, the winner in the other premium, other 6 scale, other category like that. I know it's certainly not a 6 scale figure, but it is a premium figure. My number 2 favorite figure of the quarter, Hot Toys Thanos from Infinity War. He's incredible. He's huge. He menaces over your toy room. The gauntlet lights up great. The attention to detail is fantastic. The face sculpt, the likeness is just truly remarkable. Hot Toys has outdone themselves. It is a great, great figure, and I've had a lot of fun. I've already been taking a lot of pictures outdoors with it. I've used it in a lot of ways. I am going to get, of course, the armored Thanos from in-game, but I'm going to have both because this figure is just too good to miss out on. I just really love it, and I would encourage you to get it. Don't pass on it. It's one you're going to regret if you pass on. You can get the armored Thanos, but don't you want the Thanos that kicked all the Avengers' butt? This is the Thanos that won. And we don't know what's going to happen in Infinity War, but I don't think it's going to end with Thanos winning again. So this is a figure that I wanted and was important. I love it. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, for my number 1 favorite figure of the quarter, which was also my favorite hot toy of the quarter, from Infinity War, Doctor Strange. Hands down, this was an easy winner. As soon as I got it, I knew it was the winner. Back, I think I picked it up in late January. It is such a good figure. The likeness is incredible. The amount of spells and effects that he comes with. It's the most equipped hot toy I think I've ever had. I love it that it has the energy sword. It has the ropes that he tied Thanos up with, plus the normal set of spells that he comes with. The cape has magnificent detail. The Eye of Agamotto is really nice. He has the sling ring. So much stuff on this figure. And it is truly an amazing figure. You've got to have a Doctor Strange hot toy. And the Benedict Cumberbatch likeness is perfect. So it was the number 1 figure of the quarter. And that is the Dubbies. So hopefully that makes sense the way it went. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed showing you these figures that I liked, kind of my countdown. You'll get another one of these each quarter with the same list, top 5 figures and those 5 categories. And then we'll do a larger one at the end of the year for 2019. If there are other things you'd like to see me do, my a W award, remember I want it to kind of be timely. Things like, what are your favorite Marvel Legends? I've covered a lot of that in my daily dubs, which there have been 80 of, if you want to go look through that playlist. But if there's something that's timely or makes sense in terms of recent events, I'd be happy to do it on here. This is not going to be a regular series. It'll be an irregular series. It'll happen every once in a while, maybe 6-8 times a year. But I wanted to do this one. It is Wednesday night right now, but tomorrow when I post this, it'll be Thursday, and Victoria and I are going to see Endgame, and then we're hitting the road for vacation. So I hope you have as good a weekend as we plan to with Endgame, with the 3rd episode of Game of Thrones, which is going to be bad and sad and all those things. And then the beach. It's going to be a good time. Anyway, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching the Dubbies. I'll talk to you soon. Squeeze it.